we go. Sorry about that. Stereo. Welcome to Penumbra Overture. It's an older game. Another of the games that were gifted to me by friend Forrest. I'll tell you guys, pretty much the best dude ever if you ever get a chance to meet him. Don't really know shit about this game other than the fact that it's supposed to be a horror game. They did ask me to turn off the lights, but what the fuck doing? I'm not here for the experience. I'm here for you. I'm doing this on your behalf so that you can watch me jump and scream and generally be a wimp, because I am. Let's go with normal. Let's just play normal. My story began in February, year 2000.
For my part in this allegory, I'm not going to make the same mistakes my father made. Howard vanished from my mother's life before I was even in it, so when he sent me a letter a few days after Mum's funeral, it was the first I'd ever heard from him. Pity he was dead. Writing from beyond the grave must be a genetic habit in my bloodline. His letter contained a key, instructions, pleas for forgiveness. I figured the dead don't have much use for absolution, so I turned to his prophetic passing, which he inexplicably expected to come any day. Clearly averse to explanations, my father preferred to leave directions to a bank on Mayfair I'd never even heard of. In that bank was a safety deposit box in his name, and myself as executor. Of course, I went, as he knew I would. I discovered that despite the evidence, he'd been legally declared dead almost 30 years ago, and so the old book and collection of notes I found had, in the eyes of the law, been mine all this time. My father's instructions were to burn the documents, raise no further questions. But that was his error. No man's immune to the shameful trappings of curiosity, and my humanity got the better of me. The university I taught at was world renowned for two things: physics and linguistics. I represented the first, and the man who stood for the second was stumped by my recent acquisition. The book was indecipherable. The notes, however, showed a location somewhere in uninhabited northern Greenland.
Oh, this is taking forever. I hate long intros.
It took me almost a year to book the last flight I'd ever take. As I watched civilization disappear along with Heathrow, I realised my father had disappeared 3 decades ago, almost to the day, and I considered in turn what it was that I was leaving behind. We landed on a strip of ice a few feet wide, and within minutes I was pulling away on a chartered boat, beginning the 12-hour journey that would lead me into my past.
Right, so I tried to be really careful, make sure, because I got this, and 2 more. I don't remember the names of the other 2, but I got 3 Penumbra games all together. And I try to make sure I picked the first one, the one that came out the earliest. Finally, we're almost docked. I'd like to stow my gear. I'd better stow my gear. I may be far from home. Chances are I can still pick things up using the left mouse. I can take a closer look at things by using the right mouse. I'm sure that'll still work, buddy. Ooh, what's this? Let's put this over here. Oh! I'm trying to rotate it, not throw it. I'm certain this map's a good decade or so out of date, but landmarks don't change much in Greenland, so I've got a pretty decent idea of where I'm headed. Sorry, sinuses suddenly clogged on me. Always good to have a notebook in to jot down interesting information and reminders. P. Nothing. Fair enough. I think I left my torch in the desk drawer next to the bed. It can be opened using my left mouse on it, holding the button down and moving the mouse. Fantastic. Get there the whiskey. Damn, I wanted to get drunk. This thing's already got me. Get a drink. Neat. Always travel with a padlock and a key, preferably. Mine's in the inventory tab. Oh wait, I think I get it. I'll put that there. Put that there. 1. Open that. Grab that. batteries. Let's just go ahead and close that. Close. Whatever. Gotcha. Flashlight. There we go. A letter. Dearest Eric, just a quick note before you set sail and leave me once again. I've left you a little something to remember me by in the chest at the foot of your bed. I really don't know why you still only have one bed on board. Taking shifts because of it is no way to get your rest, but what does a fisherman's wife know about life at sea? I'll be praying every night for you to make the catch you need so that you can come home to me safely and soon. Please don't be gone for 5 weeks like last time. I know it might nag sometimes, but I do love you, you know. I've washed those overalls of yours. I know you'll get them covered in assorted fish parts in no time, but I feel better knowing they've had a wash. Before I forget, the Henriksons in the village have asked me to see if you'll be coming by any trout, but I said they were mostly out of season. If you do happen upon any, don't say anything. Stow them well in the ice, and I'll do something special with them to celebrate when you come home to me. The ship's captain deserves a little special treatment once in a while. Take care, my love. Fantastic. Can I not? There we go. That was very sweet of her. There we go. As I stepped off the boat, setting out to the blizzard that had formed around me, I realized how utterly devoted I'd been to the discovery of my father's past. I had no idea what to expect. Soon enough, my concerns were justified. I don't know whether I lost my orientation or spirit first, but I lost feeling in my extremities soon after, and new hypothermia was setting in. I started looking for shelter. So we get to start playing once this motherfucker's already fucked himself. So cold, I don't know where I am. I need shelter soon. Fantastic. I've already completely screwed. My entire head went on along the road. I can still hear these men roaring past. Or is it some kind of animal in the distance? I'll pick it up. I'm gonna click and hold the interact button. I should just about manage to pick up that rock. And there's still four things with the right click. Fantastic. Where's that mouse at? Oh, mouse. Where's the thing? There it is. There, that was a lot of fucking work for very little action. And, I mean, what's the point in even having like a 15-foot level? It's all black for me. I promise you. It's not just you. Whispering. Fantastic. And crouch. Can I sprint? I can sprint. Yeah. Too weak to pick it up. Empty boxes of ammunition. It's heavy with moving barrels, shooting thing inside it. Can I just not do anything with it, I guess? Got a flare. Yeah, it could be something useful, for instance. The fuck is that all about? Can't get out. Let's turn down this mouse sensitivity. Let's put that as 1. And let's see. Damn it, get out of the goddamn way. Ooh, what's this? Emergency exit procedures. Never mind. Go, you stupid door. Honestly, having the eyeball in the middle of the screen kind of freaks me out more than anything else so far. Tweaking this hammer hold left mouse, I can make a backswing by pulling the mouse right and then follow through by pushing left. The opposite works too. I can hold down right mouse after the backswing. I should be able to still look around. Fantastic. Not really anything, not really anything. Not really anything, nothing, flare. I don't know if I have to like worry about battery life or anything, so I'm trying not to go too hard on the flashlight, because if I do have to worry about battery life, it does not give me an icon to indicate anything about it. There we go. Middle shelf. Let's see. Not quite right. Oh, there we go. Just piece of wood there. Alright. Let's make sure. I'm pretty sure the door is going to be locked. Yep. It always is. That door is just always locked in these kinds of games. Oh, I feel like I'm getting lost. What's that? Why? Why does everything go crazy when I'm crouching? I don't like that sound. Ah! What is this? That doesn't seem like something I want to do. Nope, 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 nope. No, let me leave. What? I can't. God damn it. Why did I have to go on the first one I saw? Whatever I was descending into, it was 100 feet. It was 100 feet below ground, protected by two solid metal hatches, located in a remote Arctic wilderness and buried beneath the snow. Didn't know what to expect, but it made me feel something I hadn't felt since I was a child. I'd never given it much thought before, but I realized that our entire society is a network of safety nets, the emergency services at the end of the phone line, health and safety in the workplace, friends, family, lovers, all there if something goes wrong. Part of a carefully designed structure to prevent all but the most mundane of emotions. Once again, I felt like I did when I was in school, surrounded by a closing ring of older kids, knowing anyone that might help me, friends, parents, teachers, were too scared or too far away. Sorry about that. Shit, ooh, gotta click to continue. I can't just press the button. I jotted down a note just in case. What did I say? Anything living down here. Heroics are for Hollywood actors and fairy tales. I'm not taking any chances. I'll face off against anything down here. I won't last a second. Caution and stealth are my only defenses now. If anyone or anything hears me, I'll be best off staying low and out of sight until I know whether or not it's a threat. By crouching by pressing left control will give me the best chance to hide in the shadows. I'll know I've got it right because of the blue tint to my vision. Plus, I should be quiet enough that I won't be heard unless something's right on top of me. Better to remember to shut off any light sources, though. Can I finally stop reading? that's just night vision setting in, being able to see a little bit better in the dark. Because I'm supposed to go back here, aren't I? Now can I see anything? No, it doesn't look like there's anything out here. Looks like there's still some juice left. Not gonna light it. Gotta take the juice. Office, workshop. Don't really know what I'm looking for. Don't really have any idea what I'm doing at all. Maybe there'll be some sort of communication device in the office. Oh, we got a lot of light here. Let's see. Man, an old man clutching something unseen. He is strange, and yet he is no stranger. I've never seen before, but still I know this man before me is Howard. I call him Father. Fair enough. Ugh, what the hell just happened? What just happened? I don't know if that was such a good idea. Backstrin. That sounds useful. Said. Command Bunker Emergency Airstrip Zulu Weekly Report. Another remarkable week in Greenland. Regular supply shipment received. Standard emergency drills carried out. Routine runway maintenance completed. I have ordered maintenance to be carried out twice weekly from here on in due to increased snowfall. 1 wounded. The 1 wounded figure is no cause for concern. Back in London, the Germans haven't extended their front line by 4,000 miles. 2 of my men were caught manufacturing cherry bombs in our workshop/armory and succeeded in blowing off a couple of fingers. I take partial responsibility for this in that I allowed them access to the demolitions manual we keep in the storeroom, and I'm sure that's where they learned the ingredients. As a precautionary measure, I have now locked up that manual in the chest in my office and will keep the key on my person at all times. Needless to say, both men have been disciplined, and the injured man has been sent home for medical care. I cannot help but think that a more suitable punishment would have been for him to stay out here, but the matter is out of my hands. This space is so disconnected sometimes, I feel as if the war could end and we might not even hear about it out here. Supplies requisition order, dynamite for excavation purposes. 7 bayonets, not necessary in my opinion, but procedure states that we should have a full complement. 1 industrial ice pick for removing the damn ice that forms on the external hatch. 1 pair of reading glasses, category 7C. An order for myself, my glasses are in another poor state of repair and could use with replacing. Reconditioning of the mine continues to progress. The structure is being fortified from potential bomb damage, and excavation of previously caved-in areas is moving ahead. Sorry, I gotta get a sip of something. 1 point of curiosity is some kind of archaeological find, an artifact buried in the earth and discovered by one of the work teams. Later this evening, after martial duty, I shall take a closer look at the artifact. It appears man-made and may have working parts inside. I shall remove what looks like the front cover and see if I can't discover the source of the light which constantly emanates from it. Fantastic. So that's the thing. Trippy. It's a picture of a British British platoon. Must date back to World War II. I suppose this mine was converted into some kind of bunker. Oh, excuse me, kind of burp there. Let's start at the bottom if I can. Nope. Nada. There it is. Grab that key first. Copenhagen Post, Monday, 17th August 1930. Psychotropic deposits at the bottom of Death Mine. Researchers at the University of Copenhagen have suggested that mind-altering chemicals naturally sewn into the rock may be the cause of high suicide rates at a Greenland mine. The university has recently been conducting studies into isolated communities. Became interested in the workers of the northwestern lead mine last year. They discovered that even taking into account Greenland's naturally higher suicide rate, local figures for the past 100 years were abnormally high, at 46 deaths per 100,000 populace compared to the national average of 29. That's 29 deaths per 100,000. On further investigation, experts diagnosed in many of the miners' symptoms in common with the earlier stages of paranoid schizophrenia. This has prompted researchers to hypothesize that natural deposits of lysergic acid, a pH4 formula recently discovered to have hallucinogenic properties, may be present in these rocks. Few locals were conducive to interview, but those who agreed to speak had their own explanation. Inuit spirits known as the Dverngate live in the mountains. The university is awaiting results of the chemical testing. Studies continue. Phantasmic. Bottom again. Hey, there it is. Nothing on top. Nope. Cha-cha-cha. Anything in there? Nope. 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 So much history. What is that? Nope, just pick it up and move it. Not really necessary. Nada. Hey, what is that? Dried meat. Beef jerky. Yeah, that makes sense. Don't know why dried meat didn't quite register for me. Yeah, flare! Yay! Why aren't my hands working? Come on. Yay, more dried meat. There we go. Nada in that drawer. I wonder if... Yep. Gonna have to equip that. There we go. Oh shit. There we go. Big Book of Explosives, 1923 edition. So much reading. The black match fuse is one of the oldest, simplest, and most reliable fuses in modern pyrotechnics. It is easy to create, essentially consisting of just string and gunpowder, but be warned, the chemicals concerned will stain clothing, and as always, due concern is advised. Materials required: string, preferably cotton, black gunpowder, and backstring. The string should be coated with a thin layer of backstring, which acts as an adhesive. The string is then carefully rolled in the gunpowder and left to dry at least a couple of minutes before use. Invented by Alfred Nobel in 1866, dynamite is commonly used in construction, mining, and demolition. It has proved far safer to handle than alternatives such as pure nitroglycerin, provided, that is, it has been properly stored. Over time, the explosive component of dynamite, supposedly made safe by the presence of the diatomaceous earth, has a tendency to weep, making an old box of explosive liable to detonate on contact. Materials required: 1 part diatomaceous earth, 3 parts nitroglycerin, and a small amount of sodium carbonate. Text unreadable, then simply form into short sticks and wrap in paper. TNT was first discovered in 1863 by German chemist Joseph Wilbrand, but took some years before it yielded its true potential. This was because of the difficulty in making it explode and the lesser detonation in comparison to dynamite. The main advantage was discovered by the German Navy, who employed TNT's relative explosion stability in order to cause massive damage to British warships. Their torpedoes could be detonated inside a ship's armor rather than exploding on contact, as did other shells. Armstrong's mixture is included in this book as more of a point of interest than as a viable chemical mix. The formula exists as somewhat of a legend in modern pyrotechnics, referenced by those knowledgeable enough to stay away from it as death's mix. Its incredible let me just start that over, I'm sorry. Its incredible volatility make it unsuitable for almost all potential applications. Materials required: red phosphorus and barium. This mixture can be carefully and slowly mixed to minimize the risk to the chemist. Sulfur can substitute for some or all of the barium to slightly decreased sensitivity. Well, that was somewhat unsettling, I have to admit. Alright, but now that not everything at the office. It's good that that's complete. I'm glad we got that out of the way. I'm glad we were able to share this moment together. Let's go ahead and crouch for a second. I don't know why. My throat is just like staying super dry right now. Let's do a little bit of scooching. Why won't it work then if there's still some juice left? Let's go ahead and turn this off. Crouch down back here. Hopefully that thing's not coming to this door, which I just considered. Jesus, I've never been this scared in my life. I can feel my heart racing. If anything gets more than a few feet of my hiding spots, I'd better not stare at it. Better not stare it out. Anything within my field of vision, something. I think we might be good. I think it might have worked. I could be wrong. Oh my god, right, this head. God. I don't know how I'm supposed to get by that. Like right beside me. I know he comes that way. It seems like he goes this way. Shit. Okay, that door won't open. For some goddamn reason. Already been to the office. It sucked. Let's get back toward the roof. Alright, well I am back where I started. Which I suppose is as good a place as any to stop this recording. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm definitely looking forward to playing some more of this very strange game. Love you guys. Please like the video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Stay beautiful or something? I don't know. I need a catchphrase.